This is Ryan Abraham, Dan Weber, USCFootball.com instant analysis here on Howard Jones Field. And kind of an interesting practice today, Dan. It was short, and it's a Friday here, but it was a typical Thursday practice for Steve Sarkisian.
Well, it's going to be interesting. This is a really legitimate two-a-day because the morning practice is Thursday, a typical Thursday. The afternoon practice will be a typical Friday, where they come in at 2:30, go through all their meetings, then they come and do a 45-minute closed walkthrough, which is what they're going to do. Extremely light. Get in the bus and go to the hotel and have their meetings and do all the things you do at the hotel on game day. Then they're going to get in the bus and head to the Coliseum tomorrow morning after a walkthrough at the hotel. And they're going to try to make it seem like a regular game day, which they're not going to have much trouble because there's a music festival in the Coliseum parking lot with going to be like 50,000 people. So they're going to get that sense. They're going to do a modified walk, Trojan walk, that will go through a crowd that's going to be there saying, who are these guys? and then I'm guessing there's probably not a lot of football fans in that group that's going to be there for the music festival. But and then they're going to go do the locker room pregame, and they're going to do a modified scrimmage, which no, they're not going live or even remotely so. But they're going to do things like manufacture injuries, like Cody gets hurt. They take him out, and they have to bring Max Brown in and all that kind of stuff. So, and then they're coming back to campus for the salute to Troy. So okay. Kind of a big weekend and kind of a game day buzz and atmosphere a week before the opener.
So it's the last two-a-day practice, but like you said, it's really not a two-a-day, but they still gave guys like Cody Kessler and some of the other veterans the day off.
Yeah, Cody can't remember the last time he didn't practice, and it hasn't been a case of where every once in a while with Matt, you would see, say, Matt Barkley with a kind of a dead arm period. Cody said that really hasn't happened, but he said, I've really thrown the ball a lot. So he said, this is great. And he'll probably really get kind of a day off tomorrow. Sunday, they really will be off. And then Monday's kind of an extra practice next week. But they're going to give a chance to get them fresh. And I think they really feel like they're where they want them in terms of being able to run everything they want with the personnel groups they want. So there's no need to grind it in at this point. It's just to get them fresh and get them ready to go next Saturday.
For this Saturday and next Saturday, as it stands, it looks like USC is going to have two true freshmen starting on the offensive line. You're actually sharing kind of an interesting story about one of those guys. Maybe you want to share that one.
See if you can, when you go to the USC website and you look at the, if you notice when they take the headshots, they always take them in a cardinal blazer and a tie. And they've kept a blazer here from a player whose name I wish I could tell you right now, but it's the biggest one they've ever had. They've had it for years. It's ripped down the back seam so that it could accommodate everybody and anybody, they thought, until Damian Mama tried it. He couldn't even get his first arm in, much less get it around his shoulders, much less, So they went to some subterfuge, which we'll see if anybody goes to the website and looks at all the headshots. See if you can figure out how they arranged for Damian to actually get a picture in a coat and tie. We haven't asked him yet. I'm not sure if he's ever had a suit coat on. I don't know.
It's a really big suit coat. On the injury front too, with Trey Madden, looks like he's going to be a game time decision now.
Yeah, we haven't seen him for a couple of days. He's going to see another specialist today.
For the turf toe.
For the turf toe, and Sark said rightly so. You don't want to screw around with running back at their feet, so you want to make sure he gets exactly the right, medical answer in terms of time off. And turf toe is one of those things that so much of the healing is just taken off. So he'll be a game time decision, and I think Buck and Justin are kind of feeling like we can handle this and it'll be fine. But we're not going to know until well into next week whether Trey's got a chance of being there for the Fresno State game or not.
And last two guys, Lamar, Dawson, and Antoine Woods, maybe an update on their status.
Well, Antoine came out today, and for those who are worried about Antoine, before practice he was conducting the band, dancing around and using his left elbow and giving all. That was before they put the brace on. It was kind of a late arriving brace. They've been working with that brace because he hadn't been very happy with it. Strictly a protective kind of a thing, but he wanted it to fit properly. When they brought it in, somebody was kidding at the gate and said, it looks like Tim Tesselin's knee brace. Might have been too big to be Tim's knee brace, but and he finished up with it, and he's fine. But he's got a little different protective sleeve underneath, and it might give him a little more cushion from the knee brace. And then Lamar Dawson is the biggest negative probably in preseason. His knee just hasn't come back the way they'd hoped for. And Sark said that's been a little tough because it's not that physically he hasn't been working and doing that, but mentally it's been difficult for Lamar knowing that he hasn't, he's not in the picture right now. And so they were talking to the doctors about it today, and it looks like they're willing to maybe give him 3 or 4 more weeks in terms of maybe not counting on him for those first 3 weeks in the bye week, and then shooting for from there on in the last nine games. So I think that's kind of their game plan, to try to say, come on, Lamar, you get back for that. But physically, it's basically just physically it hasn't healed as quickly as everybody had hoped, and that is kind of a discouraging thing for a senior, I would think. So it's an attempt to. I think they're going to be. We can go for that first month. Give Lamar time to get back, give us time to get him ready to come back, and he could probably fill in a lot of different places out there for this team.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up here from Howard Jones Field. For Dan Weber, this is Ryan Abraham. Make sure you check out uscfootball.com for more.